Skills can always be taught, but attitude is something that you either have or you don't have. You always put the client at the center of everything, and when you're all over the place in terms of your colleagues and your team, it makes for some tricky time management, and we make it work.
Coming on to the girl you supported who wanted to go to France, now our talent, Puneet, going to Canada. I mean,
Yes.
it's so amazing to see the support they receive from Sydney Digital.
Thank you.
I've not seen that kind of support from any other clients that, okay, people want to pursue there's cultural differences, then their life priorities, right? And how the company is being supportive all through their journey. So I think it's amazing to see that. How does it pan out for you? Like, of course, I understand sometimes practically it is difficult, but how you are able to provide that kind of support for such a dynamic team?
I think when you've got good people, you want to hang on to them. And the cost of replacing those people, monetary goes without saying, but time down, the retraining, do they get on, do they fit the culture of the business? The way that it looks to a client, if you've got people that are leaving, and again, we're only a small team, we're 13 people, so it's noticeable. If somebody moves on, it's very noticeable. If we were 50 people, perhaps not so much. We're only 13 people, but I believe if you've got good people, honest, hardworking, committed, loyal, friendly, and they build relationships with the clients and our other partners or suppliers. Those things are they're valuable. They're valuable to a business, especially when the business is in a growth stage and we've got big ambitions, if you like, and we want to achieve those. So the last thing we want to be doing is have our own plans under jeopardy because we've decided, oh look, that person's moving to a different country, so let's replace them, or moving around. So it's important to hang on to good people, and we can't. I know we can't hang on to people forever, but if we can maintain that consistency for as long as possible, I think that's really important. So you need to be flexible as a founder. You need to be flexible. You need to be sure that, and there's also a massive amount of trust there. Puneet and Ollie obviously are working by themselves every single day. We literally put so much trust in them that they're going to turn up at 9 o'clock in the morning online and their little green light on Slack goes on and they're there working away. So there is a lot of trust, and there has to be for remote working of this nature.
Retention and hiring, I believe they go a little hand in hand. If you hire right the first time around, you go a long way in building relationships. Retention and hiring are very important to you.
Yes.
What exactly is your hiring procedure and retention process per se?
Hiring, I mean, retention is probably a little bit harder to answer, but because it's a bit more ethereal, it comes down to, I guess, how Ben and I approach managing the team. So that's the retention is based on two things. They've got to be doing a good job and getting results. I'm always quick to call out the team publicly when they've made a great outcome. I'm also quick to jump onto something when somebody hasn't performed. But I think when you perform well, it definitely deserves recognition within the business. So I hope that keeps people motivated, and the fact that that they are appreciated as well for their work. Anybody watching who's had agency life will know how easy it is to get burnt out when you're dealing with multiple clients and the clients are demanding. And the reason why the clients have come to the agency is because they don't know what they need to do. And so it can get a little bit frustrating from the client if they don't understand the work that we're doing. Perhaps even worse though is the client that does know a lot about digital, and then they might be questioning or challenging, I guess, some of our strategies and some of our thinking. Skills can always be taught, but attitude is something that you either have or you don't have.
For the next year, you want to do some hirings, and talents are coming through to you through some Gen AI assessments, right? How do you feel about that?
I think hiring people is probably one of the biggest challenges in a business. You want to have the right people in the right seat. If we're all on a bus together, we want to make sure that we've got the right people in the right seat. So anything that you can use that can help understand the psychometrics of somebody and how they would react in certain situations. Things like DISC and Myers-Briggs and all of those sort of personality tests. We use one called VIA, Values in Action, with all of our team. And for one person in particular, who we weren't sure about 3 years ago, they are still with the business. They have a lot of responsibility within the business. Had we not done this particular values assessment across the board, we did it as a company workshop, we would have probably let that person go because we didn't understand how they worked and what their values were. And when we did this test, we then understood, because we had our business coach working with us as well. And our coach said, now you can understand why this person is the way they are, because these are the 3 most important things to them in terms of their values. And this is why they are this way. So we understood that, and by understanding their personality a lot better, rather than just labeling them in some way, it was a game changer for us. And I'm so glad that we did that test, because it really meant that we could all understand the dynamic between all of us and how we can work better together.